Ya me encerraron, ya me agarraron, bueno.
What is he being pulled over for? What is he being pulled over for?
Lo van a quebrar el vidrio, te toca, Martín.
Van a quebrar el vidrio,
Martín.
There's a child! There's a baby!
I need my baby, bro. I need my baby, bro. Open the door. I need my baby, bro. I need my baby, bro.
There's a baby! Can you guys have a little bit mercy, dude? He has a 1-month-old. He has a 1-month-old.
I don't know, bro. Hey, it's for my baby, bro.
Trump is losing it. I mean, seriously, big time losing it. I don't know whether he's going to, I think he's being propped up by Hegseth, and he's being propped up by Miller and by Vote.
And his arms and his tiny hands are being propped up on his phone to do Truth Social.
Vance. I mean, they're basically keeping him going. I think he is completely losing it. And I say this, he's 79 years old. This is not an ageist remark. I'm 79. I am losing something, but I'm not losing it like that. And I'm not president of the United States. Heather, this is big time serious. And I think that the people around him, and I think that the crazy part of him, really wants to turn this into a police state, America into a police state. And this is what they're doing.
And he said as much, right? So what happened in Chicago, which I have to, squeak my eyeballs when I look at the screen and see what's happening. It's so disgusting.
This is what you get when you have a police state. You get ICE raids on an entire apartment building in Chicago. It doesn't matter whether whether the object of the raid is a citizen or a non-citizen. They're treated the same.
Or a child or an adult, by the way.
Trump's treasonous words are leading to treasonous actions. Donald Trump is deploying active duty Marines in Washington, D.C., and California and Portland, and apparently soon to Chicago, because he wants you to get used to the idea of the military roaming our streets.
Pritzker was the headlining speaker at the Democratic Party of Georgia fundraising dinner. He accused the president of declaring war on Chicago and urged fellow Democrats to have courage.
Taking back an authoritarian regime starts with a resistance that can effectively ridicule the opposition and look into the camera and say, this guy is full of...
That military-style raid on the apartment building in Chicago. A lot of you people have reached out to me with emails. A lot of people have asked me to comment about it on my show. So here it is. This is Old Texas Paul. Hope your coffee's as good as mine. Hell, I hope it's better. And forgive the way I look this morning. I got allergies. Look, folks, this isn't hard. That whole thing with the way they acted in Chicago, the way they treated those families and those children, it isn't hard. You want to know if they're recruiting among the white supremacist community to fill ICE positions? Just look at how they act. The late, great Maya Angelou was pretty clear about this. When somebody tells you who they are, believe them the first time. This is what you get when you actively recruit from the white supremacist community. Those people don't think people of color are human, so they don't treat them as human. This isn't hard, folks.
A Democratic win in a special congressional election all but confirms the House Republicans will be forced to go on the record about whether to release the Epstein files. Adelita Grijalva won the race in Arizona's 7th congressional district last night. This is the daughter of the late Congressman Grijalva, and she has already vowed to sign on to a bipartisan discharge petition. Now, that petition would force a floor vote on the release of the Epstein files. Grijalva's vote would finally give Democrats and a handful of Republicans, frankly, the majority needed to actually make the vote happen. This is a rare event, okay? Since 1935, fewer than 4% of the 639 petitions that have actually been filed in the House of Representatives have actually been discharged.
The government is shut down. Veterans cannot get benefits. Kids are losing food assistance. Federal workers are not getting paid, but ICE is running at full capacity, sweeping people off of the streets, including American citizens. And private prison companies, they're getting paid $7.9 million per day, every single day of the shutdown. While Americans are being swept away, a-holes like Benny Johnson want you to blame immigrants. But there's one fact that makes his entire shutdown spin crumble. Follow the money. See who's actually profiting. And we're going to get into exactly that because today, literally today, Benny Johnson shared videos celebrating Walmart banning food dyes and women being forced to give birth because every life is a gift. That's what he's sharing in his little Instagram right now, while supporting policies that cut healthcare for millions of children, while cheering on a shutdown that strips nutrition away from kids. While ICE sweeps American citizens off of the street and locks them up in for-profit prisons. But sure, Benny, every life is a gift, as long as that life doesn't need food, healthcare, or constitutional rights, or due process. This man is dumb as dog. And we're about to break down how he contradicts everything he stands for and show you exactly why this immigrants' fault thing isn't it. Because paper trails reveal who's actually earning from all of this. Spoiler, it's not immigrants. It's private prison corporations making billions off of a deportation machine that's sweeping up our neighbors and American citizens during a government shutdown. But first...
Well. It's Friday, baby. I laid my head in the bed a bit too long today, so I'm way behind on the tea, but I've got a juicy cup for you. Yes, I do. And you know we do love a good FAFO on a Friday. Fuck around and find out. If you know, you know. And I do believe the Republicans up there on Capitol Hill, including Daddy Dumpy Pants, have fucked around, baby. And even the red hats out here in the streets know the deal. No matter how bad the Republicans on the Hill want you to believe that it was a Democrat, even going to the interwebs, baby, to post on all federal websites, by the way, about how it's a Democratic shutdown that's at play. Oh, no, you see, because a poll came out today. We'll call this the FAFO fucking shutdown poll. Because, you see, they polled red hats, baby. Just Republicans, the MAGA crew out here across our lands. They wanted to know who do they think's to blame today for the shutdown. And you know what they had to say to the tune of 77% of those that were polled? Yes, baby. They said this shutdown is completely on Daddy, the White House, and the Republican, honey. Only 22% thought it had anything to do with a Democrat. How about that? So once again today, I will say with my full chest in a big kind of way, welcome to the Republican shutdown, baby. All this shit is on Orange Daddy. I do love a good fuck around and find out Friday. Try again, you orange hoe, because we already know. And we're telling people far and wide from sea to sea who the fuck you be.
Pushback drives them crazy. It drives them crazy. They do not want to do anything that's hard. They like doing things that cow their opponents and that are easy to get away with. They do not want pushback. They do not like pushback. They do not know how to handle it when they get it. In Kansas and Lawrence, Kansas, people protested against Trump this weekend and specifically in support of Oregon, as Oregon tries to fend off Trump sending in the troops there. In Kern County, California this weekend, rural California, people marched from Bakersfield City Hall to the ICE facility at Mesa Verde, protesting Trump's immigration arrests and the conditions in which people are being held there. In Des Moines, Iowa, literally thousands of people turned out late last week in a big, spontaneous, angry protest when Trump's immigration agents arrested the beloved superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools. He's currently being imprisoned in a jail in Sioux City, Iowa, and this weekend people protested in support of him there as well. Last week, you may have seen that some anonymous and very talented artists tried to put up this huge 12-foot tall statue on the National Mall. It's called Best Friends Forever, and it shows President Trump holding hands with his longtime close friend, convicted sex trafficker and pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. The artist who made this did get a permit to put this up on the National Mall, and it went up last week before federal officials apparently angrily pulled it down despite the permit, claiming there was something about the statue that was incongruent with the lawful permit the artists got to put it up. The federal officials who toppled the statue were apparently quite rough with it. They damaged it a lot. They appear to have, for example, broken off most of Trump's head when they took the thing down. But the group retrieved it from federal custody. And they worked very hard and very fast on Thursday to repair it because they got another permit on Thursday to allow them to put it back up. That said, when they showed up with the repaired statue to put it back up, as the permit said they could, they say a phalanx of about 10 cars, including some unmarked vehicles, were waiting for them on the National Mall so that the statue wouldn't ever go up. They would grab it again and take away the newly repaired Trump Epstein statue as soon as the group showed up with it to put it up again, despite the permit that said they could. The group is undaunted, though. They have now, as they say in their words, quote, released the files. They have released the 3D printing files for anybody who has a 3D printer who might want to recreate this statue themselves. Free download.
The mighty East Street Band is here tonight to call upon the righteous power of art, of music, of rock and roll in dangerous times. The America that I love and the America that I've sung to you about for so long, it's been a beacon of hope and liberty for 250 years, is currently in the hands of corrupt, incompetent, and treasonous administration. Tonight, we ask all of you who believe in democracy and the best of our American experiment to rise with us, raise your voices, stand with us against authoritarianism, and let freedom ring. I hear the sound of your guitar.
Look at this AOC social media video that's got folks up here on Capitol Hill talking.
I know that looking around here, it can feel impossible for Republicans out here to be defeated. That's not true. It's simply not true. And from the waitress who is now speaking to you today from this podium, I can tell you, impossible is nothing.
Axios reports that, according to people familiar with her operation, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her team are, quote, positioning her to run for president or the U.S. Senate in 2028. Now, I want to be clear. We have no idea what she's going to do. She's brushed off questions about the matter without notably rejecting the possibility of higher office in the future.
Running for president after the campaign style video you put out? Are you thinking about running for president? Or Senate?
I mean, listen, it's a video, and frankly, I think what people should be most concerned about is the fact that Republicans are trying to cut Medicaid right now, and people's health care is in danger, and that's really what my central focus is. This moment isn't about campaigns or elections or about politics. It's about making sure people are protected.
But even though she's dodging the questions, look at what she's been up to recently. Ocasio-Cortez crisscrossed the country with Senator Bernie Sanders for their Fighting Oligarchy tour. These were massive political rallies to invigorate Democrats, but also counter President Trump. They had huge turnouts, had national coverage, and plenty of clips went viral on social media. And it's not just what she's been doing, but it's the numbers also. Recent polls show Ocasio-Cortez far outpacing Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer in a hypothetical Senate race and in popularity. And now look, 2028 is certainly a long time away. It's an eternity. And Ocasio-Cortez first has to win her re-election race to the House next November. But this story and a dynamic is one that we're going to be covering and watching really closely in the months and years to come. So what do you think? Should AOC run for Senate? Maybe the presidency? Should she stay put in the House? Let us know what you think in the comments.
Sirs, are you guys law enforcement? I just noticed what law enforcement are you guys with? What law enforcement are you guys with? Are you guys ICE? Are you guys Immigrations and Customs Enforcement? Well, you actually legally have to identify yourself if you are ICE. You legally have to identify yourself if you are ICE. You legally have to identify yourself if you are ICE. What is your name and badge number? You legally have to identify yourself if you're ICE. You legally have to identify yourself if you're ICE. You legally have to identify yourself if you're ICE. Good morning, officer. How are you? You legally have to identify yourself if you're ICE. Good morning, officer. I just asked these officers to identify themselves. if they're Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, and they're saying nothing, which they legally have to identify their name and badge number if they're Immigrations and Customs Enforcement.
Okay, huge shout out to the woman who's filming this. Single-handedly, she got ICE to get on its toes and start retreating back. Now, shortly after the video stopped cutting off, more community members showed up to the park, and as a result, ICE dispersed. And there were 0 reported arrests by these masked armed men at the park out in New Jersey. We've seen time and time again what your support as an ally can do for the undocumented community. And here, this woman single-handedly got ICE to disperse and prevented arrests from happening. This is what you can do. So Chicago, listen up. Take notes from this woman. Make sure that you document everything. Make sure that you put pressure on ICE when you see them. Make sure you let them know that masked armed men who won't identify themselves will be approached by allies like yourselves, and make sure that you do what you can to get them to disperse, just like this woman did here.
I was at the Ryder Cup over the weekend, which kind of explains this caveman-like behavior. The president has been hard at work coming up with all sorts of nonsense to distract us from the Epstein files, including, I don't know if you saw this, but he made a major announcement. I am ordering my administration to declassify and release all government records related to Amelia Earhart, her final trip and everything else about her. Thank you for your attention to this matter. We had no attention to that matter. Unless her final flight was to Epstein's Island, no one cares. He's releasing the Earhart file. At least he made it to the E's in the files. That's progress. Tomorrow we release the Ebert files. We will finally get to the bottom of what happened to Siskel. Meanwhile, Vice President Maybelline was making the rounds, attempting to defend his boss and the chairman of the FCC with a new fairy tale even a 5-year-old wouldn't believe.
Celebrities are rallying to his cause, saying this is a First Amendment assault being carried out by the FCC, Brendan Carr, and by the President of the United States himself. And to that you say?
Well, there are two things. First of all, I'd like them to tell me exactly what Brendan Carr did to have Jimmy Kimmel taken off the air, because number one, he is currently on the air, and to the extent that he isn't in certain stations, it's because he's not funny and because his ratings aren't very good.
I have some good news for you, J-Dog. We're back on all the stations. And every home, every bar, every strip club, and every prison in America. But, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your bullshit. Go on.
There's something else that's important here, Laura, which is that these broadcast companies, ABC, NBC, CBS, they enjoy the public airwaves because they serve the public interest. So I actually think that we should be having a conversation about whether these companies are serving the public interest. That's actually totally separate from the Jimmy Kimmel issue because nothing happened to him. He's currently on the air, and to the extent that he's not, it's because advertisers don't like him because his ratings aren't very good.
My ratings aren't very good. Last time I checked, your ratings were somewhere between a hair in your salad and chlamydia. In 3.5 years, I'm not the one who's going to be doing mascara tutorials on YouTube. How did we wind up with a president and a vice president who wear more makeup than Kylie Jenner and Lady Gaga combined?
It's time for the trucker John Lovestream. Gonna be a good time, oh yeah. The trucker John Lovestream, come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Lovestream. It's gonna be a good time. The time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Lovestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Let's see. Testing. Let's see if anyone can hear me. Hello. Good morning. All right. Sounds like the mic is on. Thank you so much. It's 11:38 a.m. in the Pacific time zone here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. We're currently sitting at a temperature of about 73 degrees, and our daytime high is only going to be 80 today. So I can dig it. Can you dig it? I can dig it. Why does it look like my hair? What's going on with my hair? Anyway, welcome to the Lovestream. That's right, you've stepped into the Lovestream. Trucker John Lovestream. Actually, that was a typo, and I caught it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go with it. You know, that's not bad. This might be the Lovestream every day now. I don't know. Except for the days when I yell at people and they're going to go, I thought this was the Lovestream, Trucker John. Why are you yelling at me? You're not being very loving. So I'll try to remember. This is the Lovestream. Anyhow, welcome everybody. I know I saw Sandy in here probably first, and then I think it was Paul Burrows, and I think Fancy. I don't know. I'm not able to go back up to the beginning of the chat, but I am right where Soulcraft is. Soulcraft says it's like Minority Report when they deploy mechanical spiders in housing development. Yeah, we're getting all kinds of weird stuff going on. People pulling out cars, yanking them out of cars, throwing tear gas in their faces. Just another day in Trump's America. Another day in Trump's America. Jim Taramillo is here. He's saying hi to Anna Moore, so I'm going to assume Anna Moore is here also. We got Michael McAndrews. Hello, Michael. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Michael McAndrews says our president is supposed to be protecting us from scum like Trumpy. From scum like himself, apparently. Amanda's here. Hey, Amanda, good to see you. Jolie, hello, Jolie. I see Jolie here. Thank you, Jolie, for being here. I appreciate you. Alley Oop, 1230's here. Sparkler here. Hey, thank you so much. We had a Sparkler raid. Thanks for all the Sparklers. Thanks to House Sparks. Thanks for Aaron, being over there. Tim Farrell says, hi, gang. Will it be the Truckers Lounge or the Road Rage Room today? Oh, man, this is the Lovestream. This is Lovestream, baby. You kidding me? Come on now. Lovestream. Got the Lovestream going. Falcor's here. Hey, Falcor. Good to see you. Slava Ukraini. Where's your Slava Ukraini? DPD 5844 is in the driver's lounge. Paul Burrell says, is it normal to base your life decisions on the happiness of your cat? Asking for a friend. I bet you a lot of people in the chat would say that, yeah, that's normal. Nick Rich is here, like number 25. Good day, folks. Good day.
We got 46 watching. Now, guys, I got some bad news. We are operating as though we are a bunch of scummy old Republicans. That's no way to be in the love stream, because we're at a deficit on those thumbs up. So let's get to at least a balanced budget. We got 48 watching and 37 thumbs ups. That is a deficit, my friends. So let's work on that. Yeah, Jolie says yes, 100% about the to Paul Burrows about the cat question. Damon Dog, the big dog, is here. Hey, Damon Dog, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Damon Dog's going to be up in Washington, D.C. flying that fuck Trump flag proudly and loudly, I believe, on the 18th. Is that for the No Kings thing, I think? Speaking of that, let's fill in this gap. Well, here's one little thing. I just grabbed it off of Substack or something. I think Fugelsang posted this picture. I thought it was pretty kind of funny. A bit funny. Funny? You think it's funny? Am I a clown to you? But yeah, insecure with your masculinity? A C student at best in high school? Too ugly to show your face? Join ICE! We got just the thing just for you. Look at there. But while you're at it, don't forget to do what, guys? Release the Epstein files. That's right, you ICE crackers. I think we have common ground. There might be a lot of these ICE. Well, I don't know. I don't know if these ICE motherfuckers, they're just sycophants, probably. Anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks yesterday. Yesterday was my birthday, and lots of folks showed lots of love. And it wasn't even a love stream. It was just my birthday. So, but thanks for yesterday, everybody coming in. And thanks for coming back today. I do appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us on this beautiful Saturday. Michael McAndrews says, Trumpy tries to con my country, then he attempts a coup on my country, then he misuses power and is using the military on my own country. Should I be angry at the rapist little girl assaulting con? I say yes. You should be very angry. And insist that he be impeached and removed. Susie Jones is here. Susie says, make sure you are in all messages and not in top chat. Yeah, that's a good tip there. I've been known to sometimes be in that, and I'm like, oopsies. I'm like, oopsie daisies. Let me change it. I must have missed some of his chats because I was in top chats. There's Aaron West. We got Jolie and Aaron. We are at full mod capacity, folks. Full mod capacity. Thank you very much. Anamore says, hello, TJ and fellow loungers. Enjoy your weekend. Well, you as well, Anamore. Susie Jones is saying you're welcome to Aaron. Falcor says, Trump is a poor person's idea of a rich man, a weak person's idea of a strong man, and a stupid person's idea of a smart man. But I will tell you one thing. Trump has made a fucking boatload of money off of being president in this term. I think mainly from this crypto scam he's doing, you know? Oh, I just turned to my left and someone's got a video of them in Hawaii. I saw Diamond Head in Waikiki Beach. I've been there. Many moons ago. DPD 5844 says, and I always wonder when I'm saying that name, am I like being tricked into saying something? You know, like 8647 or something. Am I being tricked into something? Anyhow, DPD 5844 Says Fowler. I think you are missing the point. Oh, Falcor, maybe that must have been Falcor, because for a minute I thought maybe he was trying to say Fowler. He's like, "Hey, Fowler, you're missing the point. Pass me a donut." No. But I think he's addressing Falcor, Slava Ukraini. Anyhow, it says, "I think you are missing the point. Synthetic materials and food mean nothing if you don't have any food to eat." I don't know. I guess I'm already mid-thread. I'm already mid-thread. I'm already mid-thread because I don't know exactly where we're at in that conversation there, but I don't claim to be a expert on food and synthetic materials and preservatives and the pros and the cons. And yes, ideally, I think we would like to eat as fresh as food as possible and with as little preservatives or as little synthetic materials, additives and things as possible. I don't think it's always possible. I think sometimes when you're talking about food storage or trying to get food out to the masses and people are starving, there might be some additives and things you need to have in order to preserve the food. I don't know. I'm not an expert, and I don't even know why I'm weighing in on a mid-thread. I'm probably just making it worse by doing that. So anyhow, Falcor says, "Being necessary to the security of a free state." Just a random quote there of the Constitution or something. Some little thing. Michael McGadges says, "We will never submit to Hitler or Charles Manson style nut jobs. No, we won't." Hear, hear. All in favor in the lounge? Say aye. Aye. And now drink. All right. Aye. Aye. William is here. Hey, William, good to see you. Did I already say hi to William? But anyhow, good to see you. Falcor says, "I figured that thing got destroyed. Glad it didn't." Oh, is that in reference to the statue? The Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump statue of them kind of holding hands and kind of skipping through some park or something. I mean, I know where it was at, but yeah, they took it out and then they kind of, I guess, repaired it because it got busted up, and then they put it back. Well, in that video, they got blocked from putting it back. They had permission. They had a permit to put it back out there. In that video, they got blocked, but I do think they ended up putting it back. Whether it's still there at this very moment, I don't know. But let's just say it. You can't say it enough. Release the goddamn Epstein files. Mike Johnson, take your ass off a grinder for a minute or two. You can, set that down. You can go back to it later. Get off a grinder for a minute. Go down, swear in Representative Grijalva from Arizona. Do your job. Stop freeloading off the American people. Stop jerking off the grinder on the job, please. Please, Mikey. Please, little Mikey Johnson. But of course, he is doing his job. His job is to do the bidding of Donald Trump and to do anything and everything he can to keep the Epstein files from being released. That is Mike Johnson's job. So I got to hand it to him. I guess he's doing his job. The man's doing his job, man. It's a crappy job, but nevertheless. Sandy Foltz is here. James Jaramillo says, "I heard that Trump is currently nowhere to be found because a lot of people know that this shutdown is all because of him, and they are pissed." Wow. So what you're saying is Trump is a lily-livered coward. Come on out of there, you lily-livered coward. Aaron West says, I have a 20-pound Sheltie in my lap. Well, isn't that nice? Golf Marine is here. Hey, Golf Marine, good to see you. Golf Marine says, hey, TJ. Well, hey, Golf Marine. Thanks for coming on in. I do appreciate you. Susie Jones says, they actually have it back up. Jim Acosta was there interviewing people this morning. Wow. Yeah, so they did get it back up. They got it up. Congratulations. They got it up. David Dog, the big dog, the boss. Yeah, they put a little bit of boss footage in here. Hopefully that like half a second of music at the end won't get me tagged. I was thinking about clipping it, but I think I'm okay. I think you can get a second or two of some of music. So we'll see. I guess we'll see. Fancy says, I'm back. Hi, Sandy. Okay, I'm ready for the Trucker John love stream. That's right, baby. Here we are. Today is a love stream. This ain't no live stream. This is the love stream. Up until the point that I start yelling at you. Susie Jones, I never dark chocolate. I hate dark chocolate. At least, I mean, maybe there's some things where they put dark chocolate in something else or something, and you're like, you don't even know it. But just to have like a candy bar of dark chocolate is disgusting. That's disgusting. It's gross. It's not even chocolate. It doesn't even taste like chocolate. It just tastes like you're eating a hard piece of bark or something. I don't know. At least the dark chocolate that I've tried. Now I know a bunch of people are going to go, dark chocolate's great. I love it. Nick Rich, born in the USA. I was born in the USA. I was born in the USA, by the way. So that song's all about me. Thank you, Bruce, for writing a song about me and my Vietnam experience. No, I did not go to Nam. I was only 8 or whatever. No. I was basically about age 4 till about, what was I, about 13 when they when we pulled out of Hanoi or whatever it was. Golf Marine the Boss is timeless. William the Boss. No, Bruce was great on Kimmel. Good. We got some Bruce Springsteen fans in the chat. I'm glad to see that. Bruce Springsteen, I love the guy, man. Love the guy. One of my all-time faves. One of my all-time faves right there, old Bruce Springsteen. Because you know what? You want to know why? Because he was born in the USA. No, that's not the only reason, because there's a lot of people born in the USA that I don't like as well. Hopefully my mic is working. If you guys saw me last night, I jumped in real quick over on the Tara Devlin, Tara Buster show, which was really fun to do. It was fun hanging out with Tara last night. And but if you saw that, you saw I wasn't able to hook up my microphone when I go on a Zoom call. So I sent off some angry letters. No, they weren't really angry, but I sent off a couple of little things. I went into the Zoom like contact place or whatever, and I was like, hey man, I'm not able to hook up my Bluetooth microphone when I go into Zoom on a Zoom meeting. Why not? What am I doing wrong? Can you please help me? So we'll see if they'll respond, because it sucks. It did suck that I wasn't able to use my microphone, so people could hear me and not be all echoey and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. We got Squirrel Girl says, hello, chat. And Trucker John, not feeling well, so I won't be at my computer. I'll lurk and listen. Squirrel Girl, you get your rest and get well soon. And thank you for being here. Thanks for chiming in real quick. And I know all of us in the chat, we're just hoping that you'll get better, feel better soon. Damon Dog says, I'm livid about emergency rooms. Now you have to show citizenship to get emergency care. How's that going to work if you're unconscious? Yeah. Where's that at? I haven't heard about that, by the way. Kiki Streets is here. Hey, Kiki, good to see you. Kiki says she is correct. Again, I am behind in the chat. I'm not sure if that's in reference to something in the intro or to something that someone else said, but I'm going to take your word for it, Kinky Street. But she is correct. Oh, maybe that was when the lady was asking for the like their ID for the ICE agents to show their ID or whatever it was, or name, rank, and remember what wasn't it supposed to be like name, rank, and your number, whatever, your serial number. I guess that's if you get captured by the enemy. You just give them your name, rank, and serial number, your tag number, or whatever. Paul Burrow says, "Will the generals uphold their oath to the Constitution or to the dictator?" Well, based on that reception that they gave Trump and Hegseth at that joke of a meeting, I don't know. I think they're more inclined to follow the Constitution. Hopefully, God help us if they don't. Remember, generals, you don't have to follow an unlawful order. If Trump has you break the Constitution, you can tell him to go fuck himself. Tiki Streets, I'll be back. Oh, I have to do some PT. I believe that's physical therapy. Tiki Streets just got a knee replacement, so he's getting that worked out. So yeah, good luck on that. I hope everything goes well with your PT. Old Kinky Streets. Falcor says, organize, resist, fight back. I'm too old, man. I'm too old to fight physically. So I do this instead. I talk in a microphone. That's about all my body can handle these days. I'm 65, guys. Guys. I'm 65 and I have not kept myself up very well. I have not kept in very good shape. I've let myself go horribly. So, yeah. I think my fighting days are over. My real physical fighting days are over. Let's see. MJ Daniel says, yes, stations have decided that they like making money and will air Kimmel. Fuck VP Couch Sniffer. We're going to talk some shit. Going to talk a little smack. And Moore says, much respect to the brave lady in the intro who chased the fake ice. Did this happen in New Jersey? I believe that was New Jersey. I think that one was in Jersey, your home state. Luck Dragon's here. Hey, Luck Dragon, good to see you. Thanks for coming on into the old driver's lounge. Luck Dragon says there's only a few. There's only a few people like Trucker John and me. All you other people are a bunch of sheep. Okay. Hello, good morning. That's a hell of a greeting. David Weiss, I believe, from Denver, says somebody play couch humping. Couch humping. So here I am at 11:38 from Nick Rich. That makes me about 23 minutes behind. Okay, I'm 23 minutes behind. For those of you wondering, if Big Hook were in here right now, he'd be going, well, where is he? In the chat. Can anyone tell me where he's at? Where the hell is he in the chat? I don't get it. Yes, I'm 23 minutes behind. I'm going to try desperately to catch up. Catch up. Fancy says, I'm working on a goodie now, Rich. And I hope that means, by goodie, I hope that means a new video, because Fancy's been cranking them out, and they're really cool. So go over to Fancy's channel there, and you can see some really cool videos that she puts together. Little music videos and stuff. Really catchy little ditties. Let's see, where are we at here? Bethany SR Ball's here. Hey, Bethany, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. I do appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on in today. Just stepping on down. West Webb. No love lost here. Aren't you charming? Thank you, Wes. No WW today, just West West. I mean West West, West Web. West West. That's a good one. Anna Moore says, TJ, I hope you had a great birthday evening. You know, I didn't do anything. I didn't. I stayed home. I didn't go out, didn't do anything. But I did have a really great conversation with my daughter last night on the phone. We talked for hours and hours on the phone, and I don't do that very often, as much as I should. We did a lot of catching up, and it was just great talking to my daughter. So that, to me, that was a great present. That was all I needed. So yeah, that was good. She's really busy. She works full time, and she's going to college. Has a big, pretty big, really busy with her classes and stuff, and so we're not able to talk as much as we'd like to. So, I'm just skipping down a little bit here. Aaron says it's 75 degrees in western North Carolina. Don't you agree, Western? Don't you agree, Aaron? Like the Carolinas, when they decided to become like two states, one of them should have just said, you know what, we're just going to call ourselves Victoria or something, instead of making it so confusing. Because I'm always like, are you in North Carolina or South Carolina? You know, one of those states should have taken the high road and said, you know what, we're just going to be, I don't know, Elizabeth, or whatever name they would have picked back in those days, Damon Dog, Big Dog, West Webb says, West Webb, that was a great happy birthday you sang for Trucker John yesterday. I'm surprised John didn't play it. It was really fucking good. Well, I did give it a thumbs up, I'll have you know. And in my intros, I don't normally put that kind of stuff in the intro. And I didn't even think about it. Because I make the intro literally moments before I go live. And I wasn't even on my Facebook page. I was on these other pages looking for clips and stuff. But now that you said that, Damon Dog, now I feel bad. Thanks a lot for making me feel bad in the Lovestream. Anyhow, Michael McAndrew says the leaves have started to turn here in Michigan. The leaves are turning brown. Sandy Foltz says, TJ, I has post a sticker on your chat today. Thank you, Sandy. I haven't gotten down there yet, I don't think. I missed it, but thank you so much. I'll give you the yippee as soon as I get down there. I don't think I passed it up. But thank you, Sandy. You know what? Yippee to Sandy. There it is. And I'll get down there. I'm still 28 minutes behind or something. In the chat, Wes Webb, Trucker John doesn't like my music. Oh, Wes, I like your little birthday song to me. Like I said, I just don't normally. I didn't think about putting that in the intro because I don't usually put that kind of stuff in the intro. David Dog says, yes, I will, John. Yeah, I'm talking about the fuck Trump flag. Awesome, Damon Dog. Karen Ames is here. Karen says, I'm here but lurking. Thanks, Karen Ames, for being here. Appreciate you. I do appreciate you for coming on in. Luck Dragon says, is Donald Trump agrees to leave office if he gets a Nobel Prize, or a Nobel Prize, as his weird sycophants seem to want to call it. That would be the best Nobel Peace Prize that was ever given to anybody in the history on Earth. I guess if that's what it would take, if that's what it would take for him to leave office, then give him a 6-pack of Nobel Prizes. I don't give a fuck. I just want the motherfucker out. Aaron West says, I was a C student in high school because I never went to class. Shame on me. Well, you've met one of the prerequisites of being an ICE officer, Aaron. Now you don't meet the third one because you're definitely not too ugly to show your face. So well, I don't think you're insecure with your masculinity. So I guess you would meet just one of the requirements. They might take you anyway, though. I don't know. There's this Sandy's super sticker. Oh no, that's fancy. Oh, that's fancy. Okay, I didn't see that. Somehow I must have skipped over, but I did give Sandy already gave her yippee. So here's Fancy with a $2 super sticker or sticker. Thank you, Fancy. Yippee going out to you. I'll give you a thumbs up and the heart. I do appreciate you for doing that, helping out the show as you are wont to do. I'm not really sure what that's about. Let's see. Brandon Woods says, happy birthday, Trucker. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being in the love stream. That almost sounds, maybe inappropriate. I don't know. Golf Marine says, generals gathered in their masses just to hear from two dumbasses. Hey, there you go. Hey, that's pretty good. Generals gathered in their masses just to hear from two dumbasses. Yeah, I see what you're doing there. Damon Dog, why does Hawaii have interstates? Maybe because it would be like, I don't know, an imaginary continuation. You know what I mean? I don't know if it would, if they had an imaginary continuation. I don't know if it would hit Alaska maybe or something, And if I don't know, do they have an interstate? I don't even know. I've been there. I know they have highways. I don't know if they have an interstate or not. But if they do, that's funny. Then that's funny. Aaron West has never been to Hawaii. Furthest west I've been is SFO. Loved it. Yeah, it's a pretty city. Wes Webb, member for 18 months, driver. Yippee, Wes Webb. Thank you so much for being a long-time member. One of the originals, one of the OGs right there, Wes Webb. Thank you very much, Wes. And he's singing again. Happy birthday, Johnny. See, he's got musical notes on there. So it's like he's singing. Happy birthday, Johnny. Thank you, Wes. I appreciate you. Michael McAndrew says, I hit the like button like 50 times. That's why I kept seeing it, like going back and forth. But good news, folks. We are acting more like good Democrats now. We have a slight surplus of likes. We got 52 watching and 53 thumbs ups. So thank you very much for getting us back to the good side of things. I much prefer it when we act like Democrats than Republicans. Just so you know. Stephanie B2 is here. Hey, Stephanie, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Stephanie says, I'm busy making Christmas crafts and presents. I'm selling the crafts and whatnot with my neighbors soon. I have to build up an inventory. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Look, Dragon says, the amount of Falcors I have met in my life are literally too many. I'm a luck dragon, but my name is Brian. Well, hello, Brian. Nice to meet you. I don't understand the thing about Falcor. I've never heard of any Falcors before. There's big. Hey, Big Hook, Big Hook. I mentioned you earlier, and I didn't even know you were here. So thank you, Big Hook, for being here. And Big Hook says TJ is on a seafood diet. He sees it, he eats it. Pretty much. Well, there is stuff I don't like that I won't eat. You know, like dark chocolate. Michael Baganja's Bert got a little indigestion going there. But hello, Big Hook. Good to see you. DPD 5844 says, did anyone see that Trump's spiritual advisor, Robert Morris, was arrested for raping a child? Now I hope that people will WTF up, what the fuck up, or maybe wake the fuck up, and refer to them as Nazi, racist, white nationalist regime of pedophile, which is what DPD 5844 does, has been doing. I did not hear about that, DPD 5844. I did not. But just another example, like you said, these are the Nazi, fascist, white nationalist regime of pedophile. Yeah. And yet people, they still follow them. They still follow them. Let's see here. I'm just kind of skipping down a little bit to see if I can get a little bit caught up. A little bit. In the chat room here, everyone's having some little conversations. I don't need to repeat all of them. You know what I mean? DPD 5844 says Morris only received 6 months. Oh, those pesky child raping fake ass Christian birds or Christians. Birds like a feather do flock together. So he got 6 months. So this is a while ago then. I thought you were talking about like he just got arrested today or something. Or yesterday or something. But nevertheless, I mean it's still awful. But he, is what he is. Yeah, Damon Dog says, take care, Nick. I watched the scooter vid again, makes me want to get one. So apparently Nick Rich has posted a video of the scooter. I didn't watch it yet, but I've seen some before, and yes, I want to get one too. Either that or an e-bike. Eliup loves dark chocolate. Well, the dark chocolate I've tried was disgusting. Sunny Falls, did you ever ask your office if you can buy them? I have not asked them. I have a feeling they're going to say no. But I think I'm going to go in there and talk to them today and at least get them to come have the bug spray guy come back out again. David Windler says you get 7 seconds before copyright violation. That's what I thought, and I think I tried to put that to the test. Maybe I didn't count right because I think I still got a copyright. Like you say, it's not really a strike, but you get these copyright violations, and so you can't monetize it or whatever. And I thought I was maybe I should have stopped at 6 seconds. Yeah, maybe 7 seconds was too long. So I guess you're supposed to stop at 6 seconds. Maybe that's what I did, or something. I don't know. Look, Dragon says how to bolt action rifle. I was 22 by the time I was 30, I had nothing left. Why am I reading this? I had nothing past they don't want to kill again, and that's why I believe that guns are not your friend. But that seems a bit rambling. Bethany says, I like dark chocolate too. It's good for you. Well, whether or not it's good for you doesn't mean that I like it. There's lots of things that are good for you that I don't like, probably. Eliub says, if the cacao is really high, it tastes different, not as sweet, but apparently had some health benefits. I don't eat chocolate for its health benefits. I eat it because I like the way it tastes. And the dark chocolate that I've tried was gross and basically just kind of like had no taste. Like I felt like I was just eating a piece of bark or something. Sandy Folks, dark chocolate is delicious. Well, maybe there must be different types of dark chocolate then, because someone gave me some dark chocolate. They said, "Here, try this." You know, it was all wrapped up in the wrapper, like wasn't like something that they made or whatever. It was legit dark chocolate, and I thought it was gross. I like milk chocolate. Just to be clear about it, just so you know where my taste level is at. I like Hershey's milk chocolate. A lot of people will say like Hershey's is crap, you know, because it's not fancy. It's not some fancy European, you know, fucking German made chocolate or Sweden or whatever bullshit. No, I like Hershey's milk chocolate. I could eat that shit all day. I could eat it all fucking day. Karen Ames says, went to bed after 3, got up at 8 on my second pot of coffee. Karen Ames, I think we're on the same schedule. That sounds like my schedule, except I don't make pots of coffee. I just make little Keurig, and I only drink one because I know if I drink more than one, I will just get too like jittery or whatever. Wes Webb says, I was the last year that we were required to register for the draft, turned 18 in 1975. Yeah, I remember, you know, I turned 18 a few years later, but I remember, you know, kind of just being out, you know, just missing that. And I was glad. I was happy. I didn't have to. Aaron West says, you sounded fine last night, Trucker John. Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, I know, but it was still kind of echoey and stuff. MJ Daniels says Ghirardelli or Girardelli. I always say Ghirardelli, but I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. But I've been to the Ghirardelli one, their big store in San Francisco. That was 30 years ago. But anyhow, makes really good dark chocolate, and there are a couple of Seattle companies too. A bit pricey though. Again, the dark chocolate that I ate, it tasted like tree bark. West Webb. Why am I not getting this right? West Webb says, I have a very good microphone in my telecam. What's a telecam? Is that a cross between a telescope and a camera? So that you can... Oh, no, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go. This is a love stream. Today's a love stream, so I'm not going to go there. Michael McAndrews says, it was okay, John. I love seeing you all try to figure out mic and audio problems. The audio was okay anyway. Yeah, that's just using the regular mic that's on the phone, you know, the built-in mic. And it's funny because it was Tara that prompted me to go out and get one of these in the first place, because I was on her show like I guess last year or whatever it was, and she was that we had that issue came up then too. Like she was like, "Do you have a microphone?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "Oh, you need to get a microphone," you know. And I go, yeah. She goes, yeah, really, you really should get one. It really makes a big difference because otherwise there's like a lot of echo in the room and all that kind of stuff. So it was because of Tara that I went and bought this microphone. And then when I went back on last night, I was hoping I would be able to figure out how to go on Zoom and operate the mic. But there's like we were talking about on the show, there's like a little drop down menu for the microphone, but there was only one choice, and it was just the iPhone mic. There was nothing about the Bluetooth mic or anything like, or any. There were no other mic choices. The only one was to use the built-in iPhone mic. So I don't know if there's something on Zoom that I'm missing, or if it's just they don't have that option. So I did write two different things to two different, I think, departments of Zoom, and we'll see if they ever get back to me on that. Because you guys say it's fine, and I guess it is fine, but there is a difference. There is a difference with the sound, and I think it is better with the microphone. I think it is less echoey, and I think it doesn't pick up as many outside noises, surrounding sound. So I think it is better to have the microphone if you can. Susie Jones says, I'm able to get the Hershey miniatures and can get just the special dark bars for 6 cents each. Wow, you got connections. Nick Rich says, Tara Buster was a great show. Lots of green people for Ms. Devlin. John was focused. Oh, thank you, Nick Rich. Thank you. I was focused. David Huck says the emergency room thing is a new Trump directive. No federal funds for hospitals that treat undocumented people, even though there's a Reagan-era law that requires them to treat anyone. So another example of Donald Trump just being a total asshole and heartless. I mean, okay, I understand immigration's your issue. That's what you ran on, and la-di-la-di-la, blah, 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 immigration, blah, blah, blah. But when you're talking about someone who's in a hospital, in the emergency room, not just, they're just checking in to fucking get a nose job or something. They're in the fucking ER, and if they don't get treated as soon as possible, they could die. Then I think there's something really, really wrong with you if you don't think that person should be treated. Something very, very, very wrong. And it's really disgusting. Karen Ames says, I only eat dark chocolate. Milk chocolate is too sweet for me. Oh, see there? So I like sweet. That's why I eat sweets, because I like the sweet part. StemToB2 says roommate set a general resigned. A general resigned. Okay. It's just me not reading. Okay, so a roommate resigned. I mean, not a roommate resigned, but a general resigned because of Trump's crap recently. Yeah, I wonder how many others are going to start dropping out. But I don't want them to drop out, because then they're just going to replace them with Trump loyalists. So I hope the generals will stick in there and stick this out as long as possible. They might be our only wall of defend against Trump. Luck Dragon says it's not good. God created marijuana to be smoked in its natural habitat. We don't need flavors. Okay. Alrighty then. Alright. Wes Webb says, doctors don't want me smoking. I am vaping and eating gummies like a motherfucker. I added the last part. I added that last part, by the way. West Webb did not say like a motherfucker. I did. Just so that you know, I really want to make sure you guys know that West Webb didn't say that. I added that part and probably should not have. Karen Ames says it's the law here in California that ERs cannot turn anyone away if they are uninsured. I think that's the law probably everywhere, but Trump is telling people he's extorting hospitals. This is extortion. This is what Donald Trump does. This is what he tried to do to Zelensky, and this is what he does. He's got a history of this extortion. And this is extortion. It's like, we will not give you federal funding if you are treating undocumented people, illegal people, whatever he said. It's just plain out extortion. Alley-oop says a lot of brass is resigning, and now they're free to speak out politically. Like I just said, I hope I really don't like that. I mean, it's fine that they're speaking out, but now they're going to be replaced with, what if they get replaced by just Trump loyalists? Maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Nick Rich 12 noon. I'm only 27 minutes behind. I'm 27 minutes behind for all you folks out there that don't understand how I'm reading the chat. And I'm just going down reading the chat, and that makes me get behind so that I'm 27 minutes behind you. Just, I can't explain that enough, I guess. Luck Dragon, I also am a fan of breath mints. I don't know. Are you? Are you? Fancy says, I'm definitely not a sheep. Absolutely. Absolutely not. Alley-oop, Jersey girl here. We don't say Joyzy. I know. Because I'm not from Jersey. So I say Joyzy. MJ Daniel says, looked like somebody had the same idea. I did. They set the video of ICE chasing the bike to Benny Hill music. Yeah, I've seen that. It's pretty funny. Paul Burrows has got to go still on the clock until 7 p.m. Peace out. All right, Paul. Thanks for being here. I know you're gone already because I'm 27 minutes behind. But have a good day out there. Up there in Idaho. Paul Burrows, great state of Idaho. Damon Dog says Chewy is here. All the cats are sitting in the driveway. I don't know who Chewy is. And I don't know why the cats are all sitting in the driveway because of that. But there's a lot of things I don't know. Luck Dragon says, for the past 6 months, I've been going to the grocery store with cologne and sometimes with BO. Would you like to know my discovery? Sure. Luck Dragon says, some women want to fix your stink and other women want to rebel. Luck Dragon, you are probably a pretty interesting fellow there. Sandy says, no gin in the base today? I guess not, Sandy. I guess not. Your buddy's not here today, I guess. I have not seen him. But if I do, I'll let you know. Because I know you miss him. Luck Dragon says, I've been hired by the CIA to investigate what the fuck you people on live streams are all about. And my official report is I have no idea. And then they fired you for your misuse of question marks. Damon Dog says, DPD 5040, I'm mid-thread now. I did the same thing. My mom had those AIDS chocolate weight loss and ate a bunch of them. David Dog, I'm sorry, John. I'm mid-thread. I don't know what you're sorry about. I don't even remember now. I'm 27 minutes behind. Luck Dragon says Trucker John doesn't deserve a birthday party because he's not willing to party like me. Okay. Well, but birthday's over now, so. Fancy says I did classes at the Avon office and I was really good at it. Awesome. Damon Dog says being in the restaurant business for so many years, I don't wear any cologne. I hated when I had an employee that put on too much, especially patchouli. Yuck. Is patchouli a cologne? I thought that was a herb or something. Ruben Michaels is here. Hey, Ruben, good to see you. Says 62 in Crabtree, Oregon. Hey, Ruben, thanks for coming on in. I do appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Just remember, folks, with the cologne and the all that stuff, people who do the cologne. Moderation. All things in moderation. I think some people just lay it on really thick because they're like, I want this to last all day or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, sometimes it could be a little too much. Maybe just a couple, and that's it. You know, that's it. You don't need to be like, you know, just a couple of those squirts and you're done. Try that. Maybe try that. Susie Jones says, I think some snobby people would be surprised that Burberry has patchouli in it, or patchouli. I don't even know what patchouli is, apparently. I thought it was an herb or a spice. Alley-oop 1230 says, between skin allergies and headaches, I've stopped using fragrances. There you go. Jolie loves the patchouli, apparently. And I don't even know if I'm saying it right. DPD 5844, going all caps on us, making sure that we see this, says senators who may vote for the CR, Gary Peters, Michigan, Jeannie Shaheen, New Hampshire, or Northampton, no, New Hampshire, Maggie Hassan, New Hampshire, John Ossoff, Georgia. I like John Ossoff. I hope he runs for president. And Dick Durbin, Illinois. The Nazis are recruiting them. They need 8. Call these motherfuckers and be heard. I don't think John Ossoff is going to. Because I like John Ossoff. David Dog says, that said, I do like Ralph Lauren Blue. Man, who knew all these cologne lovers? I just get whatever my kids get me for Father's Day or whatever. I have a bottle that I've been using that my son and daughter-in-law got me like a couple of years ago. I'm still using that. You know, like it takes me years to go through a bottle of cologne. Falcor says Falcor is a luck dragon from the Never Ending Story movie, which I have not watched since I was probably, I don't know, whatever age. Do people actually still watch that movie? Like, even if you're like in your 40s and 50s and 60s, you still watch the Never Ending Story movie? There was, as my recollection is, it was really kind of hokey and very poor production value from my memory. Are we still we're still into that? We're still into the Never Ending Story. All right. Luck Dragon says, duh. Fancy says, I heard that. I don't know what Fancy heard. West Webb says, I used to wear English leather musk. That was my favorite, but they stopped making it. I remember, I think in high school and maybe my early college years, I think I would always have something that was like some sort of Musk related, because I heard it was like, it was supposed to draw women. It was supposed to attract. It was supposed to attract the women folk. Um, and I don't know if it was just my good looks or the Musk that was working for me. I'm not really sure. To this day, I don't know which it was. Guess I'll never know. David Dog says, back in the 80s, I collected those Musk bottles from Avon. I loved the car. I think I probably had one of those. Fancy says, my mom sold Avon too. She had all the decanters. I remember my mom selling Avon for a little while back in the 60s, like mid 60s. I think she had the little like bag, the little like kind of like a briefcase thing, but I think it zippered open. It was kind of blue, right? Like a material, like a cloth material. And you would open it up and it had all these makeups in it. It was just, I loved it. No, I remember watching my mom. But they would have these, these meetings or whatever, and they would sell the Avon, and they'd get together, and the ladies. It was just a ladies' little shit session, and they would serve iced tea and some little lemon cake or whatever, and they had a great time. The women of the neighborhood around the neighborhood were having a great time when my mom was selling the Avon. David Windler says, by the way, welcome, David Windler. Good to see you. David Windler says, I think arrested maybe for a 12-year-old child spiritual advisor. So, yeah, someone brought that up earlier, and apparently has already been sentenced or something to 4 months or 6 months. But this another example of someone in the Trump inner circle, I guess you could say, who's a fucking pedophile. Another pedo in there. David Dog, like I'm being yelled at. I'm really mid-thread. I don't know if you thought I yelled at you, or I don't know, but no yelling. I don't know. Not really sure what that was about. This isn't who you think it is here. It says, being born later in birth order has a significant impact on the likelihood a man will be homosexual. Really? I never knew. I never knew. And I don't know why I said homosexual the way I did. Susie Jones says, how is it that a pedophile can get less prison time than a petty theft? Just disgraceful. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're right. I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, if you're going to fuck kids or fuck around with kids, you should be at least like a life. That should be life. This isn't who you think it is. Says the man billed as the most racist man in America feels dark chocolate is the best candy, so TJ is doing something right. I don't know who is the man billed as the most racist man in America. I mean, is it Trump? I don't know who. I'm not sure because there's a big list of candidates there. I'm not sure exactly who that would be. Alley Oop says, hopefully, when the OK Grapist gets out in 6 months, someone will do the right thing. If you get my drift. Christina and Sun Ghost Squad's here. Hey, Christina, good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. I am about 25 minutes behind, so you just so you know, I'm just now saying hi to you. Christina and Sun Ghost Squad says, oh, yeah, it just means that you got to pay out of your money to whoever really created it. It's not a strike. It's just, Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah. A claim. It's a claim. Yeah. We were talking earlier, in just in case people don't know what I'm talking about the 7 seconds. If you're playing copyrighted music, I thought it was 8 seconds, because I have had copyright claims, and so I think I did go to 7 seconds. But if it's 7 seconds, then that means you can only go to 6 seconds. Anyhow, we'll see. I have a little tiny bit of Bruce, but it was live. Being that it was live, that might be also something that's maybe harder for the thing to pick up. In that, I mean, I know that it gets live music, but you know what I mean. And also, it was really only like a second. So we'll see. We'll put the system to the test. Christina's son Goswell says, "Thank you for coming by my show on Wednesday, John. I appreciate it. No problem. No problem, Christina. And looking forward to for those of you in the chat that don't know, we're planning on me going in and hanging out with Christina on her show on Thursday. Thursday evening. I believe it would be 4:00 my time, 7:00 Christina's time, I believe. Right, Christina? So yeah, we'll start talking about that, and so you guys can gear up and get ready for that. We'll go visit Christina over there in her show on Thursday. Roxanne79 is here. Hey, Roxanne. Thanks for coming on in. Says howdy, Trucker John or Lounger. Howdy back at you. David in Grand Prairie, Texas says, who eats more vegetables, me or TJ? I don't know. If you eat more than one vegetable a month, then you probably eat more than I do. Although I did buy a pound of strawberries on my last shopping, they had a little container. It says it's a pound, and it was only, well, you tell me. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I think it was only $2.99. So it was $3 for this pound of strawberries, and I had some last night, and they were delicious. Are strawberries in season? Is there such thing as in season? But they were delicious. This is not who you think it is, says David Dog. The birth order thing is very well established. Ample evidence you can find. Okay, well, we don't need to. Well, you guys, that's between you. I'm not going to get into like an argument about all that kind of stuff. Christina Sun Go Squad says, I was never a big chocolate person until recently. Although I still like chocolate cake. Me too. Or chocolate ice cream. Me too. You could get dark chocolate bars with flavors in it. That's way better. I must have had a dark chocolate bar that had no flavor in it because it was disgusting. It was literally like just eating a piece of bark. Not that I would know what eating a piece of bark is really like, because I don't believe I've ever really eaten a piece of actual bark. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Susie Jones says, I'm going to lay down. I'll be lurking in the bushes. All right, Susie Jones. Don't get any branches on you. Don't get any sap on you. Or whatever. Christina Sun Go Squad says, I got up around 10 after going to sleep around 3 in the morning, and I only have 2 coffees. I better have another one. Talking about that. Chris Doug on a 7-mile hike. Hey, Chris, good on you for going on that hike. I'm going to start doing it. Part of my birthday resolution is that I'm going to start walking more, because I really haven't been walking very much, which is not good. I'm going to start walking. And there is I think it's Planet Fitness or something, just on the other side of Albertsons. I think it's only like maybe a half a mile. I think I'm going to start walking down to Planet Fitness, and I think I'm going to check it out. I've never really gone into one before, and I might join up for a membership there, and maybe just hit the treadmill. Maybe I'll hit some weights or something. Get all buffed out, like I'm wont to do. But my resolution is to start walking, and then to walk to Planet Hollywood, Planet Fitness, I'd rather go to Planet Hollywood, but and then maybe I'll sign up over there, and then start getting some regular workouts in and stuff. And before you know it, I will be pumped up. Anna Moore says, TJ, ask them, the management, about the mulch. Oh, and these bugs. I truly believe that's where they're. I think so too. I think that's because like yesterday, I saw a bunch of bugs coming in, and they were all by the door. I think they come in through the door, and I sprayed the hell out of it, and now I'm out of my bug juice. Because the door, I mean, it's a well. There's nothing wrong with the door, but the bugs can still get through the crack. The cracks in the side, whatever. And I think they are just coming in because right across this little walkway is the, bushes and stuff. So you might be onto something there, Anna Moore. Sandy Fo says, do you like Reese's Cups? I do. I don't have them very often, but I like them. I like a Reese's peanut butter cup. Okay, I got to skip down a little bit. I know I'm really, really behind. So I got to skip down a little bit. I'm not going to address the birth order thing. That's a great. You guys can have that conversation. I'm just. I guess I'm skipping it. Bethany S. Arbaugh says Hershey milk chocolate is nice. Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that because there's so many times where I've had people say that that's crap. It's just cheap made American chocolate. And then, they want to whip out some fucking thing made from Switzerland or something. And I'm like, fuck that shit. I'll take a Hershey's milk bar. I mean, not milk bar, but a chocolate bar. Any day of the week over that fucking Swiss shit. Although the Swiss shit's pretty good, too. The good milk chocolate. Okay, I'm skipping down a little bit in the chat here. I'm still very far behind, though, just so you know. I'm sure I'm still 20 minutes behind. Right now, I'm getting in. Since I skipped down, I'm getting a lot of mid-thread stuff. And I kind of don't like reading mid-thread stuff because then I'm, like, confused. And I don't know what's going on. Christina and Son Ghost Squad says, I think that the mic has to be connected or plugged in before you go into Zoom. I plugged in my Bluetooth because that's how, the little Bluetooth thing. I did plug that in before I went into the Zoom room. And I'm pretty sure I did. I mean, now you got me thinking. But I'm pretty sure I had it already plugged in. But maybe I didn't. But I thought I did. Now I'm not sure. Hey, Twisted Nerves Paintings there. Hey, Twisted Nerves, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. I do appreciate you. Twisted Nerve Painting. I see Twisted Nerves a lot over at Terrabuster in there and in the chat. Now it's coming over here, so I appreciate you. And Twisted Nerve Painting actually does a lot of paintings and things. And I believe YouTube channel, right? Twisted Nerves. If you want to check out some of the videos that Twisted Nerves Painting has of his artwork, I highly suggest it after the show. Hey, Ada Benitez is here. Says, "Hello, Trucker John, and how was your birthday?" It was nice. I just basically spent it with you guys. I didn't do anything. No birthday party. No going out. And then, like I said, had a very nice long conversation with my daughter and over the phone, and that's really all I needed. My son sent me an emoji. But we do talk a lot, me and my son. We text a lot because we're in the fantasy football league together. And so we've been in contact a lot with doing that. It's kind of hard. I was actually talking to my daughter about how I would like to maybe move up to where they're at and get closer to them, because I do miss them, and I feel like we're missing out on them since we're so far apart and miles wise, and it's hard to travel. I don't have a car right now, and they're busy with school and work. Both my son and daughter are still in school, and and busy with work and stuff, and uh, so we were talking about that. Twisted Nerve Painting says it was great seeing you on Terror Buster last night, and I had a great time. I'm glad you liked it. Love Dragon says, you people need to make up your own mind, which is why Jesus and me are in line that life is about pro-choice and free will, and we will never take your choice away to kill. Okay. I'm definitely in favor of pro-choice. I'll just leave that at that. So I'm going to skip down in the chat. Sandy Fold says the emergency room has to treat you. They can't refuse if you have no health insurance. Absolutely, Sandy. Absolutely. But what we're talking about is Trump is telling him, no, don't do that, or you're going to lose all this like federal funding or whatever it was he was taking away. So Trump is asking hospitals to break the law and to be unethical. And I hope they all tell him to just go pound sand, and we'll figure out our funding some other way or something. Or we'll sue you in court or whatever. The Soulcraft says, broke my arm in the UK once and didn't have to pay a dime for any of it, meds and all. See there? They treated you good. Why can't we treat people good? Mr. Spock is here. Live long and prosper. The old Mr. Spock. Where does this got to go? Over here? Well, Lindy can't see it. And I cannot even do it with this hand at all. So you're just out of luck. You're out of luck. Sandy's Full says Chewy. Oh, that's right. Chewy is an online store for pets. Okay, now I get it. That's going way back to was it Damon Dog or Michael Andrews? I think it was Damon Dog talking about Chewy and the cats and all that stuff. Yeah, now I recall. I mean, I've seen Chewy. I think I've seen the advertisements, and so now I didn't know. I forgot. So thanks for reminding me on that there. Pardonnez-moi. Look at there, me and my French. Look at me in my French language. I said, pardonnez-moi. Ada Benitez says, I eat all bio. Not sure what that is. In Morocco, chocolate from Spain, dark chocolate with pistachios and almonds. Well, there you go. Ada Benitez says, Arabic O-U-D, oud is great. Oud. Here we got New God First. Or New Good First. I feel like my glasses are steaming up or something. It's getting a little steamy in here. Let me just clean these real quick with my handy dandy little cloth. It's getting a little steamy in here. Might have to turn the AC back on. Let's see here. All right. Let's see. New Good First. Depends on how you define cologne, but it's a wearable scent. All I'm saying is a little goes a long way. I've had people get into my car, male and female, male or female or whatever, that were just so overly perfumed and cologned that I think I get some sort of it makes me cough, and it's not comfortable. So I really think a little will go a long way. Ada Benitez says patchouli is a flower from Asia. Roxanne says patchouli oil is a thing too. Tom Bias is here. Hey, Tom, good to see you. I haven't seen Tom in a while, I don't think. So thanks for coming on in. I do appreciate you. New Good First says Durbin is one of mine. He's backing Trump. Who knows? I mean, someone earlier posted that they were trying to get them to go along with the CR, but who knows? You know. Tom Bias is going to reboot again. Luck Dragon says, Roxanne79, yesterday I went to Seneca Project live, and I told them they have no right to cancel me from their May Day podcast. I'm totally mid-thread on that. I have no idea what that's about. Manda says, Dior Joy has been my favorite for years. Ada Martinez says, Aud Isapan is for women, Christian Dior or Montel perfumes. And just remember, folks, a little goes a long way. I'm just going to keep saying that. Every time I read something about a perfume or a cologne, I'm just going to answer by saying, just remember, a little goes a long way. Sandy Foltz says the emergency room at St. Mary's Hospital in Lewiston, New York, when you come to the ER by ambulance, they sit you in the waiting room. They won't put anyone in a back room. Okay, I mean, they probably have to triage and all that kind of shit, right? Twisted Nerve Pain says, I prefer gray flannel, both the shirts and the cologne. Just remember, a little goes a long way. Look, Dragon says, it's okay, I still appreciated it. Okay, I'm skipping because you're talking about some other podcast and I'm mid-thread about, and so it doesn't make much sense to me. Look, Dragon says, fragrances attract bugs and sometimes I need to use them to disattack all the fine-ass women. Alrighty then. Just remember, a little goes a long way. Christian Weibel, he got 6 months in jail. Talking about I think the Donald Trump's spiritual advisor. Is that who it was? Who apparently was found guilty and convicted of some sort of child. I don't know the exact charge. I forget now. Someone mentioned it. Some sort of. I don't know what the charge was. Sexual assault or whatever it was. I don't even know. But he apparently got 6 months for it. And I think most of us are in agreement that that's way too little punishment. Way, 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 way too little. I was suggesting life earlier. Lug Dragon, I voted for Ferguson. I'm mid-thread. I'm very mid-thread, so I don't even know what election that was about. Tom Bias says, I guess I have 4G technology in a 5G world. DPD, I can tell how far behind I am. I was talking about the never-ending story like 20 minutes ago, and so I'm just now getting to your responses on that. DPD 5844 says, I'm 45 years old, and I still enjoy the never-ending story and Lord of the Rings franchise. But at least Lord of the Rings, now I'm interjecting here on the post, at least Lord of the Rings had good production values, and I think had good characters and good acting. There was a good story to it. My recollection of the never-ending story is that it was some weird kind of foreign-made movie with weird lip syncing, maybe. I don't know. And it was all hokey pokey. Something that, yeah, is fine for the times, and maybe when you're a 12-year-old kid, it's fine. It just seems like that's something that you could outgrow. But hey, I don't mean to yuck anyone's yum. You like it, you like it. You like what you like. You like what you like. Okay, back to the post. Like Lord of the Rings, I also love the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Orlando, which is all fine. It's all fine and dandy. I've seen all of the Harry Potter movies. I think they're really good. I like the Harry Potter movies. And again, much better production value than the Never-Ending Story, I believe. But who am I? You can like whatever you like, unless it's little boys. Christina Weibel, I'm in live chat all over the place, and I use all caps, except for this time, apparently. Except for that time. New Good first says, I've seen that video of the most racist man. Ha 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 ha. He is just some backcountry guy who black and Asian YouTubers make videos with, who is just sort of openly racist. Oh, I don't believe I've seen it. I don't. Yeah, I haven't. I don't think I've seen it. I don't think I've seen that. I don't believe I've seen it. Bethany S. Arbaugh says, I have a friend that used to sell Mary Kay when she was in her 20s. She's 53 now. I think she has a government job now. Oh, I was going to ask, did she ever get one of those like pink cars? I guess if you get a certain level in Mary Kay, they give you a pink caddy or something, or maybe a Mercedes, but it's pink. I don't know for sure. No. Do Good First says, I ate some beef broccoli or some broccoli beef 2 days ago. We'll count that as vegetable. Yeah, that's broccoli. Yeah, look at there. Look at you go with the broccoli. Christina and Sun Ghost Squad says, yes, that's right. With the time 7. Okay, and my time 4 years. So just a reminder, Christina and Sun Ghost Squad, Thursday, 7 a.m. I mean 7 a.m. 7 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully, if everything works out, I'll be over there on the show, hanging out for a bit with Christina. Let's see, I skipped down. I don't know. I did skip down. So I this is in the interest of time. I did skip over a lot of your guys' chats, just so you know. Luck Dragon says, it's been over 25 or to maybe 30 years since I've watched The Never-Ending Story, but some books just stick with you. And I don't know if that's like fucking Legendary Hobbit, something an F word for Legendary Hobbit. Okay. Bethany S. Arbaugh says, dark chocolate can be bitter. Ruben Michaels says, I ate some Dutch chocolate truffles, spoiled for life. That does sound good, I gotta admit, but that's different than candy bars, though. But it's kind of a different thing. But that does sound delicious. Hey, Andrew Petrie's here. Hey, Andrew, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Says Andrew says, happy birthday, you sexy bastard. Thank you, Andrew. I do appreciate you. Thanks for the birthday wish, the birthday greeting. Roxanne79 says, the other day I was off and extra sensitive, and Hal was coming in hard about Schumer Hakeem. I gently snapped. Uh-oh. Careful now, Roxanne. Careful, don't snap. Luck Dragon says, Trucker, coffee, trust me, we are the same. Okay. All right, then. All right, Damon Dog says, my brother has a 80-pound dog. I keep meaning to take her for a walk. But that's a very strong pup. Yeah, they should be pulling you around. Alley Oop says dark chocolate covered cherries is the bomb. Well, I was going to say earlier that dark chocolate, maybe I did say it, like if it's mixed with other stuff or it has other things, like cherries, whatever, then I think I've had that and I think that's good. But just eating just a regular like candy bar, dark chocolate, it was gross. Roxanne79 says peanut M&Ms are always on hand. I buy big one from Costco. I used when I was truck driving mainly. I haven't maybe a few times since I stopped driving. But I used to buy just the bags, like kind of the not the really huge bag, but it's whatever size bag that would be, maybe about that big. And it had it had the mixture, and I really liked it because it had like the peanut butter one, it had peanuts, and then there was a peanut butter one, and then the regular chocolate filled ones. I think that's what it was. I think that was, and I really liked that combination of all in the same bag. Yeah, M&M's is one of my favorites, by the way. Um, Andrew Petrie says in North Ontario we use Avon Skin So Soft. It works for no seams. I don't know what any of that means. I don't know what that means. I don't know what no seams are. Karen Ames says, "Hey John, I'm back. Apparently, I forgot to say be right back. Well, thanks for letting us know. You're back in the lounge." Ada Benitez says, "Beefcake body becomes flab when you turn old. Look at Schwarzenegger." Well, the man's about 80 years old, right? So you can't think of Arnold as the 25-year-old, the Mr. Olympia, Mr. Universe, and that's not fair. Compare him against other 80-year-olds. Compare him to Trump, for instance, who's 79, which is close enough because he's over 79. And I'm not exactly sure how old Arnold is, but I think he's around the same age, right? Aren't they about the same age? So compare Schwarzenegger to Trump. That's who you should compare it to. Don't compare Arnold to the 28-year-old Arnold or the 30-year-old Arnold. So I would rather be in the physical conditioning or the shape, I guess, at that age of Arnold than I would Trump. All right. Ada Benita says, I was into gym and I am flab now. I am going to Tai Chi and Qui-Gon, whatever that, Qui-Gon, and my muscles are improving except for my sciatica, laughing out loud. I am going to lift heavy. I'm going to get in. I'm going to start lifting heavy weights. I used to bench press over 500 pounds. I don't expect that I'll ever do that again. But I think I could get back into the 300-pound club. I think that's a worthy goal. Bench press 300. And I'm not going to just do bench pressing. I'm going to do full body workout. I'm not going to miss leg day. I won't miss leg day, all right? Luck Dragon says, I can do push-ups in the morning and 10 push-ups throughout the day whenever I actually feel like it, but can push-ups in the morning with a hot shower that turns into cold before you get out. Alley-oop 1230 says, it's a nice day in New Jersey. Don't say Jersey. It's Jersey. Gonna sit outside and get some fresh air. That's a good idea. Have a great weekend, everybody. You too, Alley-oop. Thanks for being here and enjoy your day. Enjoy your fresh air. Damon Dog says the only chocolate I have is no sugar added Nesquik I put in my coffee. It's a poor man's frappe mocha. Yeah, I bet it is. I bet that it is. Andrew Petrie says, I wasn't even born. I was raised in a test tube. Dolly the sheep is my cousin. Wow. Fancy's back. Hey, Fancy, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in, coming back in. Thanks for all the thumbs ups, guys. By the way, make sure you hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. If you would consider, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, would you please subscribe to my channel? I'm trying to get to 4,200. I wanted to do that yesterday for my birthday. I might extend it out a little bit here. Try to get to 4,200. 4,200. Come on now. Do I hear 4,200? Do I hear 4,200? Look, Dragon, we need to start another party. The left keeps thinking it's about the left. It's about the wrong party. FAFO party. I don't know if we need to start a new party. We're kind of talking some of this stuff with my daughter. I think the Republican Party is the party that should go away, and then another party could pop up. But whatever we need, though, before we do any of that, I think we need campaign finance reform. We need to get big money out of politics. I think that's a lot of our ill, is all the money that's in politics. I think we need public financing, campaign financing. Other countries do that. It works good. But, this is America. This is money, 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 money. And like Tara Devlin was talking about last night, all the news outlets, the cable news, and even the ABC, NBC, CBS, broadcast news, they make a lot of money, selling that advertising time, the campaign advertising. And so it's a big money deal. But we need to have someone who's going. We need to have a bunch of someones that are strong enough to push that type of legislation through, because I think the big money in politics is corrupting everything. I think that's what gets us a Donald Trump, is the big money in politics. Part of it. That's definitely part of it, at least. Skipping on down in the chat. I'm skipping, guys. I'm skipping. Tom Bias says, I can't go back far enough to follow TJ. Oh, yeah, to find out to where I'm at. Yeah. I'm even though I've skipped down, I'm probably still 20 minutes behind, and you can only go so far back, I think. Hopefully we'll sort of meet in the middle here. Kind of skipping down. I am skipping down. Ada Benitez says, Trucker John, I am not being a rich bitch, by the way. I never would have thought that. But anyhow, I only earn very little money. Morocco has cheap bio food, or, of course, are without any pesticides. I don't think I'm not familiar with the term biofoods. I think here we just call them like organic or something. Fancy says, oh no, Roxanne, my kitty tore up my leather boots. Bad kitty, bad kitty. Christina and Son Ghost Squad says, so the spiritual advisor and everyone around him are pedophiles, and people still think he's not. It's crazy to me. Oh yeah, like Trump. Almost everyone around him is either been convicted or is associated or suspected of some sort of pedophilia. But not Trump. No, not Trump. He's pure as the driven snow, right? Luck Dragon says all you have to do is take a piece of mint and eat it with the dark chocolate, and it will be good if you like mint. Then you are the devil. Okay, Luck Dragon, you crack me up because the way you just take these twists and turns here. Hey, Big Hook, the Big Canuck is still here. Thanks for being here. It's hanging in with us. Big Hook says the Republicans can vote with 51 to change the rule that keeps the government shut down. I think eventually they will do that when the pressure becomes too much. I think they don't want to. I think they don't want to because this all will keep them from releasing the Epstein files. I think it all comes back to that. It always comes back to the Epstein files. I really think that Donald Trump is willing to trash the entire country just to keep those Epstein files from being released. And what does that say about the Epstein files and Donald Trump being on them? I think it says he's on them, he's in them, and he's guilty as sin about the whole thing. Christina and Son Ghostwell says you should at least get as many years as how old the child was. So if a child was 13, you get 13 years. If a child was 6, you have to get at least 6 years. I don't know. Well, yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. So if the child is 1, you should only get 1 year. I mean, no, they should get life. I don't mean to yell at you, Christina, but yeah, I don't think if you diddle a 4-year-old, you should only get 4 years in prison. But if you diddle a 16-year-old, you get 16 years. I don't agree with that. I think it should just be life in prison. Sandy Fold says if you use dish soap water and apple vinegar, we'll get rid of fruit flies, I guess. I don't think I have fruit flies. Damon Dog, the big dog, says Trump's faith leader is Robert Morris. He pled guilty to molesting a 12-year-old. So I do agree, Christina, that he should have gotten at least 12 years and not, what do you get, 6 months? Fancy says, I kept finding him in my closet, and when I finally looked back, that it was he had been doing. I'm mid-thread, total mid-thread. I have no idea what that's about. Aaron West says, try watching The Never Ending Story again. It's not hokey. Do I have to? I think I watched it. I think the last time I watched it, I think I may have watched it with my son when my son was little. I think we watched it. I think we had the VHS tape of it. Now that I think about it. So I know, when the kids were little, they watched it, and I think I sat and watched it with them. So, but that's like 20 years ago or something. And as a kid's story, I thought it was okay for the kids, but because there are some kids movies that I can watch, like when the kids were little, that I really enjoyed, and I was like, yeah, this is cool, this is funny, and this is a good movie. Like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids or whatever. But The Never Ending Story, it's like, yeah, it's okay for the kids, and I'll sit here and watch it with them, but now that the kids have grown up and they're not watching that, and I have absolutely no reason to watch it. I would rather watch, like right now, I'm watching season 3 of Reacher. I'd rather watch that. I'd rather spend my time watching that than Never Ending Story. But that's just me on the Lovestream. That's me on the Lovestream. Love Dragon says no cap. Alrighty then. Love Dragon. I woke up this morning and there was a smell. I'm not going to use the question marks. Okay. So I woke up this morning and there was a smell. I didn't know where it was coming from, but after looking into my cat's eyes, I knew. That is the most beautifully written post I think you've ever written, except for the question mark, the inappropriate question mark. But that is great. I love that. But after looking into my cat's eyes, I knew. I love that. MJ Daniel says Robert Morris, no prison time, wealthy with powerful connections. What a shocker. So he got sentenced to 6 months of what? Jerking off to kitty porn or something? Yeah, rich and powerful. And this is what MAGA wants. This is the swamp. What about draining the swamp? I think this is pretty swampy. It's getting pretty swampy in here with all these Trump pedophiles. We're getting swampy. The Never Ending Story. Says Ruben says, I agree, Aaron West. I'm not sure what movie he's thinking of. Wasn't the one where they fly around on the stupid, that big white kind of abominable snowman thing? And is that the one? Is that the one? Am I not thinking of the right one? They would actually fly on this big weird thing in these fake clouds and shit. Let me know in the chat if I'm right or wrong or thinking of the wrong thing. Fancy says my boy cat used to use the toilet, Roxanne. He taught himself. I used to tell him to flush it, and he would hit the handle laughing out loud. What a smart kitty. What a smart kitty. Luck Dragon says, by the time I figured out my cat's shit in my bed this morning, it was scattered all over the room. Oh my gosh. Now that wasn't quite as poetic or whatever, but it's kind of gross. Ada Benita says a tiny little cap of vinegar with water and clean your fruits thoroughly, then dry. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I don't have any vinegar. I was on the phone with my daughter, and I think she suggested the same thing. I just sort of used some hot soapy water and rinsed them out and kind of scrubbed them off and rinsed them and dried them out. I had to make do with what I had. I guess next time I go shopping, I'll have to buy some vinegar or something. All right, I'm skipping on down a little bit here. Aaron West says the Dark Crystal is really good too. I think maybe this is a generational thing. Maybe all the people who like NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys or whatever are also Never Ending Story fans and Dark Crystal fans. But maybe it's a generational thing. I don't know. Karen Ames says my neighbor's cat has officially adopted my daughter since they kicked it out of the house. and apparently don't feed it. Yeah, um, that'll happen. That will happen. The cat will go to the place where they're being treated nicely and getting fed. Ada Benitez says, I have just eaten pearly rice with tofu with red and green peppers with sauteed onions. That sounds delicious, Ada. That absolutely sounds delicious. Aaron West says, TERF equals trans exclusionary radical feminist. Trans exclusionary radical feminist. Who is one of those? Who's a TERF? Trans exclusionary? Does that mean radical feminist? I don't even know what that means. It sounds like a bad thing. If you're excluding something, right? I've never heard of it. I'm an old boomer. Come on, guys. How do I know what that even means? Luck Dragon, this is where people really start to piss me off and make me leave the chat. Once you compare the Dark Crystal to the Never Ending Story, I'm out. That's it. Luck Dragon, we've crossed the line. For that, Luck Dragon will put up with a lot of shit, but that's it, folks. That is it. Comparing Dark Crystal to the Never Ending Story, out. He's out. He's out, I tell you. He's gone. He's done. Fini. David Dog, I taught all my cats to go outside, no litter box. The only thing about that is sometimes I'm afraid the cats will never come back or something, you know, if you let them out. Mr. Spock says except the part that Israel knew and did nothing, even facilitated delaying help. I'm mid-thread. Obviously, someone's talking about Gaza and Palestine and Israel. I'm totally mid-thread, so I'm not going to address too much of that. I know there was a peace agreement, right? That broke actually late last night. I think I saw it. I haven't really looked at it, or I don't know all the details. I know Hal was talking about it on the show this morning, on his show this morning. So hopefully you guys got all your whatever you need to know, because I don't really know too much more about it. Ada Benitez says, Trucker John, dark chocolate with nuts only for diabetics. I also suggest Ritter Sport chocolates if they are sold in the USA. Ritter Sport chocolates. Luck Dragon says, Damon Dog, I thought Luck Dragon left. Anyhow, Luck Dragon says, Damon Dog, I had 2 cats and one of them used to shit in the neighbor's yard so much that one day it just came up missing and I didn't even want to press charges. I laugh. A lot of people probably don't think that's funny, but I thought that was funny. Ada Benitez says, Trucker John, I talked to Schwarzenegger when he was 55 years old. Really? What did you guys talk about? Tell me more. That's interesting. I think that's interesting. I think Arnold's an interesting guy. I don't always agree with his politics. So, you know, I didn't like him as governor of California. He was bankrupting the state, putting us into so much debt, like a good Republican, running up deficits like a typical Republican. But still, I think he's a pretty decent guy. I just don't think he should be involved in politics, because we see what he did to California. Ada Martinez, Kai Gong is pronounced Qigong. Okay, thanks for letting me know. I don't know Chinese or whatever that is, so I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Bethany Arbaugh says Arnold and Stallone still look good. Stallone, yeah, for his age and his physical condition looks pretty good, but his face is kind of weird. You know, he's had a lot of work done. As long as he doesn't go as much as Mickey Rourke, you know, I guess we're okay. But you know, but yeah, he keeps himself pretty good shape, and they're all like pretty close to the same age as Trump. I'd rather have Stallone or Arnold's physique at their age, when I'm that age, let's say, you know, or even now, because you know I'm really out of shape, than Trump's. Big Hook Stallone is a Trumper maggot. Yeah, and I watched the first 2 seasons of Tulsa King or whatever it's called, and I thought it was, you know, the first season I liked. The second season I thought starting to get really corny and hokey. There's that word again, but still, you know, I took it for what it was. You know, it's a TV show, and they take a lot of liberties, and so you just kind of go with it. It's either you just stop watching or you have to just kind of go with it. And I decided to go with it, and I kind of enjoyed the show. But then season it was over, and it was like season 3. It had sort of a little cliffhanger type of thing, and then since then, you know, Trump won the election, and then we see Stallone kissing up to Trump, bending the knee, going to Mar-a-Lago, saying things online and whatever. So I'm like, fuck you. I'm not watching season 3 of Tulsa King. Fuck you, Stallone. I'm never going to watch anything that you do from this point forward. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to not watch some, you know, Rocky and old Rambo movies, because that was before. But anything, you know, from Trump 2.0 onward, you're dead to me, Stallone. You're dead to me. Ada Benitez says, Trucker John, I was a discus and shot put and javelin champion in regionals. I stopped at age 25. Awesome, Ada. I used to throw shot put and discus in high school. I sucked. In my 2 years on track team, I think I only got 1 third place finish. So I was pretty bad at it. I had a teammate, Big Frank French, big dude, big strong kid. I mean, he was like 6'5", strong as a bull, and he was shot put discus, and he was like a, you know, state. He went to state, you know, CIF. You know, he was breaking records and shit, and I was like trying to emulate him, and I was trying to, you know, work out with him and trying to get his style down. And some people just got it, and some people just don't. And I think I got 3rd place one time in shot put, and that was in shot put. Discus, never. I don't think I ever even got top 3 in discus, but it was fun. I had a good time. But congratulations, good on you, Ada. That's awesome. I think that's awesome. So you were doing that, and then I did skip down, so I don't know if you talked about talking to Arnie or not. I call him Arnie. So I did miss that. I might have missed it. I don't know. But I can't go back. I just can't go back. Ada Benitez says, that's when my husband got me into karate and Aikido. Wow, you're really something there, Ada. Really something. That's awesome. Roxanne79 says, Luck Dragon, I had a cat named Onyx. We found her on the runway when my mom was flying single engines and flew on my lap all the way home. Aww. Onyx. A little Onyx. All right, I'm skipping on down into the chat. I'm way over 2 hours, guys. I didn't even realize I was that far over 2 hours. I'm just reading the chats and having a good old time sitting here. You know, next thing you know, the battery's going to die on my phone. Big Hook says, as I recall, Stallone said he wouldn't wash his socks with Trump water. Well, that's good, but when was that? That was before Trump, right? That was before he won re-election, I guess. Tom Bias, I don't know what this heart is at the bottom, right? Oh, push it. Just push it and see what happens, and then it'll give you a choice of things that you can push. See, I'm doing it right now. You guys see the hearts coming up? It'll do little smiley faces. It'll do little party thingy. It'll do whatever that is, like, ooh, what? And then this is like 100%, Chugger John, 100%. I agree with you 100%. So yeah, that's what that does. Mr. Bob Newell's here. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. MJ Daniel says nothing can happen until Americans decide that they have had enough of the Republicans, like in the 30s. Yeah. We'll see if they get to the find out stage. We'll see how many will peel away. All right, I'm skipping down a little bit here. Ada Benitez says bio equal organic. Oh, thank you. Oh, I thought I was waiting for the thing, but okay, yeah, okay. So I guess that's what that was. Okay. Look, Dragon says if you could read this, then you do not have dyslexia. Ruben Michael says I would have thought you were much older at MJ Daniel. My daughter just turned 37, and my son turned 54. Well, that's a big age difference. Pretty big age difference. Like I was saying last night on Terror Show, talking about my brother and sister. I'm about 16 years older than my brother, and I'm 18 years older than my sister. Mr. Bob Newell, should I split a pair of eights? If you want. I don't recommend it. In fact, most of the people at the table will probably hate you and think you're stupid. But, yeah, you should split. I thought, yeah, no, I read that wrong. Should I split a pair of eights? Oh, yes, absolutely. Every single time. Why did I thought, you were being funny and like, should I not? I don't know. But yeah, absolutely. Every single time. Split those eights. Aces and eights. It's easy to remember. Aces and eights. Always split them. Always, 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 always. Alrighty. Andrew Petrie, Trump is fucked. I hope so. Big Hook says, hi, Andrew. Yeah, the problem is I work 6 days a week, no time left. Sleep is more of a priority. Look, Dragon says fruit flies are a clear sign from God that he does not want you to eat fresh fruit. Christina and Son Ghost Squad says, I think we have to come up with a better system. I agree with you. I think they should just throw away the key on those idiots, but I don't think they'll do it. They certainly play favorites. They'll throw away the key, I guess, if you're some unknown poor person, or even if you're not poor, but you're not connected. Apparently, there's a double standard going on here. Tom Bias says Pab ran for president to avoid jail and now is crashing the U.S. to avoid more jail time. Oh yeah, I think will do anything. Doesn't matter how many people get killed in the process, because people are getting killed in the process of Trump running this country into the ground. And Donald Trump doesn't give a fuck as long as it saves his ass. As long as it keeps his ass out of prison. He doesn't care how much damage he does. Absolutely. All right. I'm skipping on down. Janelle Walker's here. Hey, Janelle, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Christina Sun Ghost Squad says, I also agree. I didn't like the movie, The Never Ending Story. You really need to read the book. It was way better, just like all Stephen King. The books are so much better than the movies. Bethany S. Arbaugh, Stranger Things is excellent. Love that show. I love it too. Is the new season out yet? I haven't seen the latest, I don't think, but I thought I saw something where it's coming out, the final season. These kids are all like 30 years old now. And they're still playing like they're, high school or whatever. But no, I love the show though. It's a good show. Yeah, Twisted Nerve Paintings, because earlier I was talking about the swamp, and Twisted Nerve Painting says, also known as Winston, by the way. Twisted Nerve Painting says they piped the swamp right into the White House and backed up the sewer on top of it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Andrew Petrie, it wasn't The Land Before Time. There was a Petrie in that film. Ruben Michaels says lots of people are guilty as hell. Release the child rapist Epstein files. All of the videos and documents should be seen by a grand jury, not a Pam Roy Cohn Bondi special counsel. I agree. Mr. Bob Newell, you skip over my best material. Rock says 79. I thought J.K. Rowling was a racist. Maybe I'm confused. Well, it did come out. I don't know about the racist part, but I think there was transphobia and homophobia. She's very against hobos. Homophobia, maybe homophobia, transphobia. And I know House Sparks doesn't like the phobia term, but I'm not going to go off on a tangent. But yeah, I guess trans hate, gay hate with J.K. Rowling's, and so yeah. But that doesn't mean I didn't like the movies. I tried to read the very first book because my son, one of the books, and my son was really a kind of an avid reader, and I think we saw the movie first, the first movie, and then at some point, I don't know how many movies have been out, but I think we started buying the books, and my son read them all. I remember, so I went ahead and started reading the very first one, and for whatever reason, I don't know what the hell. That's weird. Guys, I gotta go find out what's going on here. My power just went out. And now it went back on. That was weird. I don't know if we had a brownout. Or what? But it's back on. Huh. That was odd. It's funny how all it is the power went out, and I'm all like, oh, power went out. Where's my candles? Am I prepared? Okay, power's back on. We're all good. We're good to go. Good to go. Ada Benitez says, Trucker John, Qigong is exercise movements with coordinated breathing and concentration until your movements become faster and automated. This is a way of martial arts. Look at me and my martial art moves. This is my moves. Look at me with my moves. MJ Daniel says, or you could look like Iggy Pop, who was closer to RFK Jr. I would rather look like Iggy Pop than RFK Jr., I think, to tell the truth. I think I would. Tom Bias says, I don't see any trans people in my sphere of influence. No advantages given to trans golfers. If you want to tee off from the forward tees, then so be it. Also, no trans discounts at the restaurant. That's a little bit myth-read, I guess. But as far as the trans athletes are concerned, as far as I know, if you're competing, let's say you're a male to female trans person, and you want to compete in a woman's event, some sporting event, there's all kinds of testing. You can't exceed certain testosterone levels and all these different. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I think there's exhaustive testing that goes on, and so it's not like, as the right would say, it's not just some dude in a dress. Ada Benitez says, Drugger John, I was a first place trophies, and I was also good bowling champ in South Carolina. Look at Ada bowling even. Wow, just really well-rounded athlete. That's amazing, Ada. I think that's great. I think that's awesome. Me, on the other hand, I would pretty much sucked at everything I did. But I still love sports, and I still played, even though I sucked. Ada Benitez says, they used to call me Ada the Barbarian. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, I guess I was offline for a minute. Oh, that's right. Because it probably shut my router off. It looks like the router's all working. I didn't even think about that. Oh, I think I was offline. Was I offline the whole time? I mean, was the screen frozen the whole time? I didn't even notice it. Christina and Sun Go Squad, I just looked at your screen, John. My son is kind of on the fence. He doesn't like Trump, but he does lean more to Republican ideas, but not to the extreme. He would never work for ICE, he said. Well, that's good. That's encouraging. That's encouraging. Manda says, people's enough buckets aren't full yet. I think we're going to get there, though. Ada Benitez says, I wish people would read more U.S. history. Damon Dog says, do those hearts, etc., help your algorithm? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. But it wouldn't hurt if you guys want to just try, you know. There you go. I'm doing that. I'm doing all this right now. Ada Benitez, I turned 60 in March. The big 6-0. It was 5 years ago when I did that. Kinky Streets, okay, all live now. Watch the Open. So Kinky Streets is caught up. Let's see here. Ada Benitez says, I am watching but playing now. He not paying attention except listening. That's okay. That's fine. Kiki Tree says American Express card bonus, free months of Peacock and Paramount. Only way I sub. The only reason I got back on Paramount, or I guess it was Paramount, is to watch the game the other night because I wanted to watch the Rams game. And so now I'm back. I'm back on it, and now I'm watching Reacher because I watched the first 2 seasons. I'm not even sure when season 3 came out. I think it's been out for a while now. But since I've got it, I'm gonna go ahead and get caught up with it because I like Reacher. I think Reacher's a cool show. Anna Moore says, TJ, I was also a Tulsa King fan, but after Stallone pledged allegiance to Agent Orange, I stopped watching it. Good for you, Anna Moore. Good for you. And I think I've had a lot of people in the chat say the same thing. That they were watching Tulsa King, then they liked it, and they liked Stallone, but no more. Aaron West says Stranger Things will be out around Thanksgiving, I think. Okay. And that should be, I think that's going to be the final season, I think, right? They're going to wrap it up. Karen Ames says, I stopped watching anything Stallone is in. Tom Bias says, if PAB isn't subject to the Second Amendment, then there's no reason for the Second Amendment. I don't know if I like that veiled threat in there. I'm not sure. But I'm not sure. David McPeak is here. Hey, David, good to see you. Thanks for coming by. David says, it's the end of the world as we know it. Do you feel fine, though? Do you feel fine? Karen Ames says, I wish someone would just hack the Epstein files and release them. It may come down to that, but I guess then there's a danger of, like, they'll say that it's fake, it's AI, or if it's not like official or something, maybe. I don't know. Ada Benitez says, yes, Trucker John, you can punch the shit out of a person that way, laughing out loud. Oh, with my moves? What moves? Those are some special moves. Special top secret moves. Christina Weibel says, I wish the survivors would legally release their list. I think there was some issue with that. I think they were going to do it, and I think they may have been counseled not to do that. I don't know. Man. But eventually, if Congress keeps dragging their feet, it might come down to that. It might come down to that. Ada Benitez says, only 5 seconds. It works for a second. Yeah, the power went out. I don't know if you guys saw that. All of a sudden, my power went out. And then I forgot about the Wi-Fi. It probably knocked it out. But like you guys said, it was only for a few seconds. So, okay, that's good. I don't know if they're doing some work or we just had a brownout or something. I have no idea what happened. We got Fresh Out the Shower is here. Hey, Fresh Out the Shower. Good to see you. Fresh Out the Shower says, all I watch is YouTube, things I like and things I like to learn. That's all I watch now. I know. I watch a lot of YouTube. I think I watch more YouTube than anything, probably. Big Hook says protest via your pocketbook is the only messaging they hear anymore. Colbert needs to be reinstated and given a new contract. Aaron West says Stranger Things Season 5 will release its final episodes on Netflix in 3 parts during the 2025 holiday season, with Volume 1 on November 26th at 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And I guess a lot of us are looking forward to that. Okay, I guess I'm finally caught up with the chat. Tom Bias, I'm not threatening, but the Second Amendment needs definition. Yeah, I think it needs to be reworded or something. Anna Moore says, TJ, always keep flashlights and candles in case. I do have a flashlight right over here, by the way. I do keep a nice little flashlight right next to my bed. So, yeah. And I got a whole ton of batteries. Josh says, fresh. I'm basically the same 99% of what I watch on YouTube. Christina Weibel, John, you're over 2 hours. I am. I know. I've gone 2 hours and 41 minutes. We're coming up on 2 o'clock. I don't know if there's anyone we could jump to at 2. Is there anyone you guys want to jump to? Raid or anything like that? At 2 o'clock? My TV shut off. Let's see how that might have to reboot. Yep, it's rebooting. TV's got to reboot. I got that Fire TV. Insignia Fire TV. It's rebooting. But yeah, we should end the show before the battery dies and before I die and before you guys die and all that stuff. But thanks for hanging in, guys. I appreciate you guys watching today. I will be back on Monday at 9. Not 9. I'll be back on Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, right after House Sparks. So all you sparklers, make sure you come on over and maybe bring one other sparkler with you that doesn't normally come in. Huh? All right, so let's see. Is there anybody coming on Netflix? I mean, not Netflix, on YouTube that maybe we want to jump to or raid? I can't do the actual the way that YouTube has it, since I'm using their I'm not going live through YouTube. I'm using the Prism app, so I can't really go. I can't do the thing like where it jumps you. I can't do that. But top news: Hamas agrees to some parts of U.S. peace plan to end. Now they have a misprint. This is CBS Chicago, and I believe they have a typo. Talk about typos. It says Hamas agrees to some parts of U.S. peace plan to end was in Gaza. They obviously meant war in Gaza. Raw video. Israel strikes Gaza following Hamas agreeing to some parts of peace. Way to nail down the peace process, Netanyahu, you fucking war criminal. Live recommendations. We got Hook Global. We got Lou Croce. We got Motor Week. We got Vouch. We got JLR Copyright Investigates. We got Luke Beasley. We got Mean Mr. Mayo. We got Mama Breaks. I guess I don't have to read them all. So I don't know. I guess there's no one I can really suggest. You guys are on your own. You're on your own. All right, guys. So thanks for being here. We're going to have in the show. Again, just thanks everyone for being here. I want to thank you so much for being here. Make sure if you haven't subscribed, would you please consider subscribing? And if you have subscribed, tell everyone you know in the whole entire world to subscribe to the Trucker John Love Stream. It's a love stream. Talking about the love stream. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you very much for being here today. Oh, thank you. What was it? Oh, I can't remember the. What language was it? Was it Russian? Yeah, it was Russian. Something Bolshoi. Something Bolshoi. I can see Elvis doing that. Something Bolshoi. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Thank you guys for being here. We'll see. Ricardo is live. Yeah, he was on there. Yeah, he's pretty good. I watched Mikado. If you go over there, Josh, tell him hi from Trucker John. Lie if you have to. Just say it's a Trucker John raid. I won't mind. Yeah, but we're on the Love Stream. I'll see you guys Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And you might even see a little bit of me, a little bit of this tough cookie, a little tough love from the tough cookie. 11 a.m. on Monday. Yes, sirree. I might be there. I might not be there. When you're a cookie, you never know. Even a tough cookie, you never know. You might end up in someone's glass of milk. And next thing, you're seeing that white light at the end of the tunnel type of a deal. You know what I mean? So, but hopefully, I'll be around Monday at 11 a.m. All right. Yes, Monday. We're doing a show Monday? Okay, Monday. That was 11 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, all right, I got you. Only been doing this for like 3 years now, but someday I'll get it down. I'll get the schedule down. All right, 3 a.m. No, 11 a.m. Why did I say 3 a.m.? Yikes. All right, we'll see you then, Monday, 11 a.m., right after House Sparks. All right, and speaking of Sparks, again, thank you guys so much for being here. There you go. I love that effect. I really do. All right, guys, so those two knuckleheads, those knuckleheads. Now all that's left to do is the words of wisdom. That's all that's left is the good old words of wisdom. So get your paper out and some writing device and write this down. These are words to live by. Words to live by. All right, guys, so are you ready? All right, so for today's words of wisdom, guys, just
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take shower. No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I try to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, the movies and bugs. Shining a light on all the social issues. No shrugs, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. In my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. So you wanna take a trip down Paradise Road, but it ain't that pretty, it ain't paved with gold. Everybody's got the dirty little secrets, everybody's got some things unknown. But if you ain't real careful, baby, it'll cut you down to the bone. Under all those bright lights, you've gotta learn to ignore the glitter. It's all about fight or flight, and you don't wanna do either. So go on down to Paradise Road, it'll make you wish that you were young. But all it'll do is make you feel old and regret trading in your love for lust. It's all just a big charade, it's all just one big game, and it ain't about love. It's all about the thrills, it's about staying in the hunt, it's about going in for the kill. So head on down to Paradise Road, that's where your friends are. the people that nobody knows. So go ahead and make your big show. So live it up on Paradise Road. Just don't let anyone know. It'll be your dirty little secret. It'll be your guilty little pleasure. Living a secret that the whole world sees, hiding in plain sight among the scum and the thieves. So damn hard to ever be pleased. Everyone wants to live the good life. Everybody wants a piece of paradise. But where would you run? Where would you hide? What would you do to buy a little more time? Grandiose dreams of happily ever after are really just another day's end. And when the sun goes down, you just lay there wondering, can you really do it all again? You're praying for one last shot. You're hoping for one last big win. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along.
Show's over. I'm out of here, folks. Bye.